Advertisers.
Red 83.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein and the locker room youth movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds with me this morning on a beautiful Sunday morning down here at the Jersey Shore. And boys, welcome back into the studio.
Welcome back. How are we feeling, Billy?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Intern Andrew Leeds.
Yeah, look at his new threads now. The Jason Kelsey, Kelly Green.
By the way, we are streaming live on my YouTube channel. Go to my website, thelockerroombillyschwein.com. Check us out there. We get to go to the website, just scroll down a little bit. You see all our advertisers there, and you can see us on YouTube. And Andrew, the intern Leeds, is wearing his Kelly Green. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Is that Jason Kelsey, right?
It is Jason Kelsey, yeah,
Nice
which
merch.
I pretty much sold out at the pro shop right now.
Is that
But
right?
we're getting more. For anybody listening, I work at the pro shop. We're getting more. We don't know when.
That applies to me. I've been dying for one.
Yeah, we're out of Kelsey and Hurts at the moment.
Oh,
but,
boy.
Well, Hurts, we have like 3XL. But
Is that right?
yeah, it was pretty crazy working there last Monday when it, there were
Lines have been
thousands of
long to
people.
get all the just thousands of people coming.
Yeah,
through there.
thousands of
Isn't that
people
amazing?
were there. And I made sure to snag mine the day it came out because I was working.
Plus, you get a discount, right? You get a
Yeah.
discount?
Yeah, I get a pretty nice
All right,
discount.
there you go. And the producer, Danny Ryan, recovering from Friday night's action down there on the beach in Margate for the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Did a great job producing for us,
Thank
Danny.
you. Thank you
That
very
was
much.
how about that crowd last night? in
Oh,
Margate?
you told
Friday.
me before. I mean, the week prior, the weather wasn't that good, and you said, you watch. If it's sunny, you'll see that crowd multiply by 5, and it sure did, Billy. No
Of
doubt.
course, Margate really did a great job putting the race on. They had the band afterward, the usual suspects, and they rocked all night. But it was a great race. Once again, we would like to congratulate Brigantine for winning the South Jersey Lifeguard Championship. That means they'll host it again. They'll host it next year in Brigantine. We look forward to that. But producer Danny Ryan, you're going to be working Monday with Mike Gill, right?
Yes, sir. 2 to 6 over at Ocean Casino.
Very
So that'll
good.
be a lot of fun. We'll be doing that. And for the foreseeable future, can't speak this morning.
That's all right.
For the foreseeable future, I don't know when it exactly ends, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get
Football
working with Mike.
season is here, boys. And last night, I thought it was pretty cool. I stayed home last night. I made myself dinner, put it right in front of the TV there, and I had Phillies. The induction ceremony I thought was really cool to see all those old Phillies back again. I can never get enough of that. Now, you guys are young and weren't even alive in 1980 when the Phillies won the World Series. I remember it vividly. To me, when I see Gary Maddox and Greg Lazinski and Mike Schmidt and Larry Bowen and Bob Boone, Steve Carlton, it's got a special place in my heart, as probably the 2008 team has for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's the case. I mean, whenever I see Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, I mean, it's like, those are like my Phillies. Like when I picture the Phillies, I picture those guys. So whenever I see them around, still hanging around, whether it's at the games or just doing whatever they're doing on like the MLB network, it warms my heart to see that.
Yeah, and then like even up on the Fanavision when they did some things on the Fanavision when you hear Harry Callis making a call. Guys, to this day I get choked up. I can't even I don't know what it is. Like it's something I can't control. It just comes over me. You know what I mean? It just hits me. Boom. I mean, same thing when I hear Gene Hart from the Flyers making a call. You guys you weren't alive when he was just such a phenomenal play-by-play guy. He spoke to the fans like he was educating them, but not in a way that was condescending.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught Philadelphia about ice hockey. And so when I hear those two guys, Gene Hart, and of course Merrill Reese, listen to him a little bit on the radio. 97.3 ESPN before I went to the TV. That gets me all pumped up. That gets me fired up when I hear Merle and Mike, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love Merrill and Mike on the call. I think they work great together, and they work great just as their own commentators.
Yeah, it's just like so. Last night I'm in front of the TV. The clicker was working. I think the clicker was getting hot in my hand.
Clicker.
Now,
What do you call it, Andrew? Remote,
It's
clicker,
a
controller.
It's a remote, but I understand the people. Who say
You don't call it a clicker.
I called it a remote.
A remote.
Controller.
Yeah, I say remote, controller, one of the two. Clicker's definitely from your time, for sure.
All right, so we got the Kelly Greens going, and of course we have our Kelly Green ESPN locker room T-shirts. We're going to post them up on the website. Andrew Leeds works on that website, does a great job, and people will be able to buy shirts there.
Yeah, you can buy some shirts right now, and then hopefully soon.
It's my merch. You work for my merch store now,
yeah,
too.
It's another merch store. I'm filling in.
Another feather
we all
under
got
his cap.
and we all got Kelly Greens in stock now.
All right, we got a great show lined up today. Of course, every Sunday during the baseball season, we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, reminding you not to drink and drive and always have a designated driver. Today, filling in, coming out of the bullpen, if you will, former Phillies relief pitcher. He's part of the 2008 World Series championship team, Scott Air, will be coming out of the bullpen for Tommy Green, who's got obligations with the Phillies for the reunion weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to talk to Scott. Now, I spoke with him during the week, and he is so excited about talking about the crowd giving Trey Turner a standing ovation.
Oh, that's right up my alley. I'm ready to talk about that. And, I guess you could say Tommy threw one too many pitches here every Sunday on the mound. We got to get him coming out of the bullpen. So it'll be nice talking to Scott.
Yeah, it'll be refreshing to get like a reliever's point of view.
Yeah.
And of course, Scott played on the 2008 World Series championship team.
Yep.
And Scott Air is a great guy. We'll look forward to talking to him. Now, yesterday on the show, Young Lads, we had newly enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame defensive end from the New York Jets, Joe Klecko, joined us. And of course, it's up that show is up on my podcast. The Locker Room Billy Schwein is up there. We're on 8 podcast locations. If you want to check that out, we had Joe Klecko on. His nephew, Joe Klecko's nephew, Jake Klecko, he rose for Wildwood. You saw him on Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Danny.
Yeah, I heard him say to one of his buddies when he was hopping on the truck to get interviewed by you. He goes, and he was wearing a Joe Klecko shirt, which I thought was pretty cool.
Because he didn't row in the Margates.
Yeah.
Because he went to the ceremony.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool shirt. And he goes, I'm not famous. And he points to his shirt. He is. And then he hops on the truck and does the interview. That's pretty cool.
So we thank Jake Klecko for facilitating the interview. But I thought Joe Klecko was pretty cool to speak with him. He was very humble. And I got several text messages from people saying they really enjoyed it. But they really enjoyed hearing from Joe, his modest beginning, his modest bring, where he came from. Came from a tough neighborhood in Chester.
He almost gave up.
Yeah.
He almost gave up on his football career. I mean, it was so close.
So check it out. And that'll also be up in the interviews on the website.
Oh, yeah, it'll be up.
Soon as Leedsy wakes up today.
Yeah. I'm in the process. Yeah.
What was that movie he starred in, by the way, before we had to break?
By the way, he was in 3 movies. Remember we talked about this last week?
Yes, was Smokey and the Bandit 1?
Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
there we go.
Yeah, cameo.
Did he play the trucker in both 1 and 2? He probably did, right?
So we got a great show lined up today, and was really cool. I don't know about you guys, but like the first preseason game, I get pumped up just for just to watch it, just to see the birds on the field. You know what I mean? We know we're not going to see the starters, but there were some things that we were looking at. We're going to get to it on the other side, and I know the coaches, they said they like to evaluate, right? If that's what it's an evaluation.
Yeah, 100%.
Essentially, I mean,
Right?
it's not like it was back in the old days where it's getting everybody ready for the season because the starters don't even play anymore.
Right,
It's not about
right.
getting them ready. It's about seeing what you got from the young guys and from the guys on the fringes of making the roster. See what they all got. So,
Danny Ryan, I know you guys are younger, but over the last few years, especially with Mike Sports Match, I'm older, and I was like, preseason's not like they got to tackle, they got to hit, we got to see the starters. I backed off that. Excuse me, get off the lawn. Well, because last year we made it through the season without any significant injuries other than Derek Barnett.
significant, I think.
It was.
That's
That's
not-
argue. It didn't really
It
affect his
didn't
play.
derail our season,
Yeah,
but
no,
I mean, at the same time, he was out for
But
significant
keeping the
time.
players healthy and keeping them fresh, as long as you have your practices moving,
Mhm.
like no standing around. They're constantly getting, because nowadays players come into camp in shape. Back in the day, they didn't.
Mhm.
So the Eagles, I think last night was a good game to watch for evaluation purposes, and I thought we'll have a lot to talk about some of the particular individuals during the game.
Marcus Mariota had a highlight or two. DeAndre Swift had a big run, so we can play some highlights on the way back
Yeah,
if you
let's
want.
do that.
All right.
All right,
Sounds good.
you all pumped up today, Leeds?
Yes, sir.
All right, where he's in a 3-point stance and we're ready to go. He's got his Jason Kelly green shirt on, supporting the Eagles with his new merch. I love
Of
it.
course, of course.
All right, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shore to Center City and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and my locker room youth movement on 97.3 ESPN.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Towards the plate, the throw, and they get him. Wow.
The Atlanta Braves are storming toward the postseason, sitting high atop the National League East.
It's gone. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a foul.
This weekend, they travel to Queens to go head-to-head with the New York Mets. The Braves and Mets. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This
And
is
on
the
ESPN.
play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Rendezvous Pizza, there's one right nearby. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, it's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Servicing Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews choose among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text PLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text PLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word PLACE to 200-300. Don't wait. Text PLACE to 200-300.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live right here at the Toms River Auto Group studio in Northfield. Billy Schwein, The Locker Room youth movement producer Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds, who's sporting his Kelly Green Jason Kelsey Eagles shirt. I love it, man. Now, are those numbers stitched? Are they?
So the numbers, they're not exactly fully stitched. They are like, I don't know what they are exactly.
They look like
they're 3D,
stitched.
yeah.
Right,
they're not like the stitched, like, they're not the.
So that's a replica.
This is, the replica 175 is the retail price. There's the $350, which is the full authentic. That's the full stitch. We haven't gotten that yet in the shop.
No, not yet.
No, but we will, I think,
All
during
right.
the season. So that's people are listening.
You know, every Saturday and Sunday on the way in here, I stop by Blitz's Market to get my freshly squeezed orange juice in a bottle, 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. I go down there, and all you got to do is say, "Where's my 12 ounces of liquid sunshine? My orange juice, freshly squeezed." You mention the locker room, get $1 off.
There you go. You can't beat that. The locker room sent me. It's like, all right, I'll take $1 off.
Yeah,
for
get
you.
$1 off your freshly squeezed orange juice. Go down and say hello to Dave and Joe Newman. And, yeah, man, I get pumped up. I get my
It's
orange
the small wins that matter. It's the small wins. You get $1 off.
By the way, hour 2, we're going to really get into the Eagles, and we're going to speak with a long-time he covered the Eagles for a long time in the Philadelphia Daily News. He now writes for the 33rd team, Paul Domowitz, who's got a great reputation, knows football like the back of his hand. He's been around the Eagles for a long, long time. And we'll talk to Paul Domowitz at the bottom of the second hour.
Yeah, 2 great guests today, Scott Air and Paul Domowitz.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good show today.
I really, you know what? I like talking to Damo because he's seen it all. He's been around for a long time, and I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely has, a good reputation. Knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little Phillies baseball, boys.
Let's do it.
Because last night they laid an egg.
Oh, got whooped. And
but
I mean,
they've been having a pretty successful homestand.
I can accept a whooping every now and again with how they're playing.
But guys, and I know Scott Air is going to want to talk about this, but Trey Turner extended his hit streak to 9 games, which is the second longest streak of the season. It was his 33rd multiple hit game of the season and is tied for 13th most in the National League. Turner gathered 3 hits in consecutive games, and it's the first time he has hit 3 times in back-to-back games since June 23rd and 24th, 2022.
Yeah, it's incredible what he's been doing ever since getting that standing
All
ovation.
because of that standing ovation.
There's something magic in that standing
I don't know
ovation.
if it's all because of it, but I mean, it definitely.
Did you hear Mike Schmidt yesterday? You probably didn't because you were working.
No, I was.
In his speech, he said something about Scott Rowland, and I think there was a smattering, not a lot, but you heard some because he was not a fan favorite. I don't know if you guys remember Scott Rowland.
Yeah,
he was not a fan favorite. Now he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but Mike Schmidt goes, "We don't do that. We don't do that here anymore." Is Philly lost its? Is Philly like?
He was referring to the standing ovation.
Yeah, because of that one standing ovation. Is now? Are we trying to change our the impression that people have of Philadelphia fans?
I don't think it's really that. I think it's how we've been explaining it to the extent that really the guy was struggling. He was in a bad mental place. It's such a mental sport. If it was basketball, if it was football, maybe you get on the guy a little bit more like Hurts or Embiid because it's a physical sport. But with this, you need the support behind you, and he got it there. I mean, just look at the results. His last 15 games, he's batting .322. His last 7, he's batting .481.
.481.
Billy, are you kidding me? 2 home runs, 10 RBIs with 5 walks and 12 strikeouts in the last 15 games. He's been incredible.
And I saw somebody tweeted the other day. It's like, it's crazy that the Phillies just like actually have Trey Turner now. This whole season, it's like as if it was a hole in the place of Trey Turner. And this last 8 or 9 games, it's like we actually have Trey Turner on the team.
Right now, we lost. Remember, we lost Reese Hoskins in the beginning of the year, but this lineup's an all-star lineup.
Starting to play like it, Billy.
And look at Dave Dombrowski. Does he look like a genius? He basically said, we're going to stay pat because we believe we have an all-star lineup. And all you need is like Castellanos is catching fire now again. He's back up to what, 281, 283?
Yes, I'm going to pull up his
282
last week.
He's
as
up
well.
to 282.
Yeah, he's been having a great run.
He had one heck of a homestand as well. I'll tell you what, he is tearing the cover off the ball right now, and it's not over.
Guys, the Philadelphia Phillies are now 65-53 in first place in the wild card race.
Nick Castellanos in his last 7 games batting .400 with 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 stolen base. In his last 15, he's batting .292 with 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. Billy, the power numbers are up big time. I mean, that's what you need from Nick Castellanos, a guy who once clubbed 30 home runs out of the ballpark. So that's huge.
So Harper goes 1 for 4. Castellanos, the middle of the order, he goes 2 for 4. Bryson Stott went 0 for 4, but then Turner 3 for 3. This team, he's batting .252 now, guys. He's raised his average from .241.
He was just in the 230s
in like 3 days.
He was batting .235.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's incredible. I remember I was talking with our columnist, Michael Doktorovitz, at work the other day about
He's doing a great job writing for the website.
Yeah,
Guest on the show last week.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to talk to him. But
you got a little bit healthier.
Yeah, of course. I got to talk to him the day before because I was feeling, or a few days before. But anyway, we were talking about like what's the best possible grade that Trey Turner could receive for this season, like if he turns it around. I mean, the way he's playing right now, he's playing like an A, obviously. But
right,
like,
but it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
and lately he's done everything he can do. I mean, the guy's sensational in during this homestand, and it's all because, like I'm telling you, when I spoke with Scott Air the other day on the phone, he was like kept talking about the standing ovation that Trey Turner received.
It's unbelievable what it's done. And you almost want to think it's fake. You're dreaming for a second because, a few claps and cheers, how does that affect the play of a former all-star player back into his form? But it does, I guess, somehow.
Did.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I think it's great. I think this is one of the biggest stories.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into one. You watch. If the Philadelphia Phillies go on a run ultimately and go deep into the playoffs, possibly another World Series, return to the World Series, this is that weekend, when he came back and they gave him a standing ovation, that's going to be a pivotal moment.
100%. It might be the turning point in the Phillies 2023 season.
Because not only did it help a guy like Trey Turner, but what do you think Schwarber's thinking?
Yeah,
you know what? I'm batting 183, but now he's got 30 home runs, and now he thinks, you know what? The fans, they really do love us. They see we're trying hard. Like when he strikes out, he shows emotion that he's more pissed than we are. I think that's the fans love to see that.
Yeah, it really it shows the whole team that this fan base has their back at all times. I mean, we know that we get aggressive sometimes and we might get angry at you, but like we want, as long as you're trying, we just want to see
as you're trying. Well. In turn, you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, 100%. You couldn't ask for anything more from him right now.
Look, you guys know how much Kyle Schwarber has pissed me off.
Of course.
When I look at the batting order. And I look at the lineup, and I see him leading off, and he's batting 184. It gets under my skin.
You're a traditional baseball guy, that's why.
When they're winning, I just don't care.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, like I said before, Billy,
I don't care.
It's much better with him in the leadoff spot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
30
like
home
Green
runs.
Said.
I mean, Josh Henning said it perfectly yesterday on the show. Yeah, he leads off, but then once the game starts, he's wherever he falls in the lineup. He can get on with people on base.
By the way,
get up with people on base.
First Philadelphia Philly to have back-to-back 30 home run seasons in pinstripes since Ryan Howard
did it. Yeah,
it's unbelievable, man. I mean, no matter where his average is at, if he's clubbing 30, 40 home runs out a year for the contract we signed him on, you're getting over your value. I don't care how many times he strikes out because you also get the flip side of the walks. So I'm willing to take that.
All right, you guys, we haven't seen each other really spoke in depth since the no-hitter. From Mike Lorenzen. Not only was it Mike Lorenzen throwing no-hitter that night, Castellanos gets his 200th home run of his career.
Yeah, after clubbing 2 that night.
And then Weston Wilson gets his first at bat. He clubs a home run. I think all this will contribute.
That was a magical night.
That was a magical night. And when you have magical nights in the ballpark, they seem to like feed off each other.
It's hard to brew magical nights in the regular season, but the Phillies have been able to do it the past few games and really the past few homestands. And, there might be the argument that it's easy competition. The Royals, the Nationals, now the Twins, who are in a crapshoot of the AL Central.
They're still, the Twins are in first place in the American League Central.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a weak division.
They're like a game over 500.
That's all right.
Yep. Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win, and series wins are pivotal, and they're getting them right now. I mean, they're losing one game each series.
Any concern about Taijuan Walker?
No, I think he was due for a bad start.
He's now 13-5. He still leads the National League in wins.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you want to see him play great every time, but that, he's going to have his off nights. I'd rather him have them now.
He goes 5 innings. He gives up 3 runs, 3 earned runs. He threw 94 pitches, though, in 5 innings.
I might be a little bit more concerned about him in that start if it weren't for Michael Lorenzen throwing the no-hitter and showing how good he can be when he's on his A game. I mean, he's lowered his ERA to 3.24, Billy. That's
right. He lowers his ERA.
That's very, very good stuff there from, a guy a lot of people thought shouldn't have even been an all-star with the Tigers when he had a 4.3 ERA when selected. He's lowered all the way down to 3.24. He's been just outstanding in the past month or so.
Of course, Ranger Suarez is on the mound today for the Phillies. It's a 135 start. They do have an opportunity to win the series today, and I think we need to see Ranger pitch well too, because it's now the 13th. What is it? 13th of August. What's today?
Yeah, yes, 13th of August.
So we're in the middle of the dog days.
Yeah,
Stretch,
Ranger
baby.
Suarez hasn't been as great as we've seen him be. I mean, he had a stretch where he played great, but now he's kind of back on the downswing of that.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully tonight he can, turn things around.
This is where the extra pitching help comes into play.
Well, now Lorenzen's going to get 8 days of rest after throwing, 124 pitches?
Yeah.
He's going to get 8 days of rest now, Thompson announced. And by the way, some news from the Philadelphia Phillies here at 10:27 in the morning. Phillies announced they have recalled Luis Ortiz to make room and have optioned Junior Marte to AAA Lehigh Valley. Okay. That's a win right there. Let's take it.
Let's take it.
Come
on.
Right.
On the other side, we're going to talk with former Phillies relief pitcher Scott Air. He's going to be coming into the bullpen for Tommy Green today. I love it. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or try the Ocean City office at 609-399-1227. Hey, let me tell you about Captain Chucky's. They're now in Sea Isle City. Try their famous crab cakes, steamed shrimp, selection of soups and appetizers, Marciano stuffed breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen, stocks, pound cake, and more. Just take, bake, and enjoy. Call 609-905-CRAB or visit CaptainChuckySeaIsle.com. Stop in and say hi to owners John and Kathy McCann, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle, to see all they have to offer. Online ordering and local delivery are now available. Captain Chucky's in Sea Isle, crab with an attitude. All right, when we return, we'll talk with former Phillies pitcher Scott Air. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and my Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2023 preseason Thursday night, hosting the Cleveland Browns at the Link.
And walks in for the touchdown.
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 6:30 with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 7:30. This is the play-by-play home for Philadelphia Eagles football. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free training system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com. I'll see you there.
Summertime, baseball and golf season are in full swing, plus so much more. BetParx is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Plus, the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app follows you to the shore and the mountains. It's all right in the palm of your hand. Odds, bets, slots, and games. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in Sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. BetParx.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800.
Parx Casino, this is how you win. The fun never stops at Parx Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Treat yourself to a full weekend of live music and dancing. Get into 360 for the best local bands and live entertainment. Friday, August 18th, Philly Funk Authority hits the stage. Saturday, August 19th, the music continues with The Exceptions. Plus Joe Conklin's Comedy Night every other Thursday. Follow on social media or parxcasino.com for complete entertainment schedule, including national headliners coming to the Excite Center.
This is how you win.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein and my Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan, the intern Andrew Leeds joining me here as we're broadcasting live on our StreamYard and YouTube channel. Go to my website, lockerroombillyschwein.com, and you scroll down and you watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
Great job. All right, now it's time every Sunday during the baseball season. We go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run on the Ocean City Boardwalk Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for the Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser to help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org. Coming out of the bullpen to fill into Tommy Green, who's got alumni obligations with the Philadelphia Phillies, coming out of the bullpen for us today, former Phillies pitcher. He's a World Series champion in 2008 with the Phillies. Let's go to Scott Air. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, fellas.
How's it going out there in Utah?
It's awesome. I was out here for my high school baseball alumni game. Now, I have to brag because my high school alumni, my head coach was here at our school my sophomore year, which I only went to 3 years of high school because ninth grade here in Utah is junior high. So my sophomore year, it's changed now. A lot of ninth graders are in high school now. But before it was just 3 years, sophomore, junior, senior. So he took over my junior year. His name's Bob Prado, and he was there for 34 years.
Wow.
So I don't know about most alumni high school baseball games, what their turnout is, but our first alumni game was in 2018. My brother Willie and I flew out from Florida for it, and 126 other kids showed up. Wow. We had There was 133 kids the first year.
Wow.
And now that's an alumni game. We had so many kids. They made 3 games. We played like a 1, a 4, and a 7 o'clock game. They started inducting some of the players onto like the wall with their jerseys on the wall and stuff. And, my brother and I got put out there, and we all decided as ex-players, we need to put Frado's number out there. And he's that type of coach that says, no, I'm just the right guy in the right place at the right time and had some good kids. No, he's a heck of a coach. And so we put his number out there, and then they've been doing this for this year was the 5th year. I didn't play yesterday. I had knee surgery a couple months ago, still recovering, but they did a golf tournament, which 121 or something like that players played in. Yeah, you want to talk about an alumni event? I did an alumni. I love my new high school, Billy. I've talked to you about it before. In South Carolina,
yeah,
our Landrum Cardinals, and they had an alumni game. Like 18 kids showed up. So it just shows the little town. I went to high school out here in Magna, Utah. I went to Cypress High School, and
because you grew up in Inglewood, California, but then you moved to Utah, Cypress High School in Magna.
Yes, and that's what I was talking. I met so many people yesterday that I hadn't seen in a long time, or saw so many people I hadn't seen. Met a few people that one gentleman came up to me and he looked at me and he goes, "You don't know me." He goes, and he's just a lifer in Magna. He came to all the games, he said, and he goes, "I saw you throw 2 no-hitters in high school." And I looked at him and I go, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, the one against Hillcrest and I'm like, "How do you remember that?" And he's like, "The one against West Jordan." I'm like, "Okay." And it was fun to meet him and see the camaraderie that the small little town is. But yeah, I went from California in 9th grade to Utah, and the high school I was supposed to go to isn't the one I went to. I was supposed to go to Kearns High School, where our boundaries lived, and everybody from my church that I moved to Utah and I met, that first year was going to Cypress. So I told my mom, I'd like to go to Cypress. I already know 6 or 7 people that go there, and out of the 2,600 students we had,
that's a big school.
Yeah, we were back then it was just a 4A school here in Utah.
So Scott,
now they have 5, 6A.
The Philadelphia Phillies are having their reunion weekend as well. And, that's what
that would be a fun one to go to with the 53 guys. Oh man,
they inducted Willie Carpenter, a former general manager. I think his last name was, if you could look that up, I forget his last name.
I'm on it.
The former Phillies general manager in the 60s and 70s, and then of course Scott Rowland was inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. So
did he get a good ovation, or were there still?
Well, you know what, and I'm glad that's a perfect segue for you, because you and I spoke during the week, and you kept talking about the reaction, the ovation that Trey Turner got. Well, when Mike Schmidt said something, when Mike Schmidt said last night on the TV when he was reading his speech, he said the name Scott Rowland. And when he heard, I guess, a smattering of boos, he said, now, we don't do that anymore around here. Because, Scott, I know you were intrigued by what you saw and heard. Trey Turner, who's having a horrible season, one of his worst season ever in baseball.
Yeah.
Here's a career 302 hitter. He can't, he's striking out. Yeah, he comes back off a road trip, and he gets a standing ovation from the Philadelphia faithful.
I was telling you, you said earlier in the week we were talking. I think I said to you, I don't know if anyone thought that would ever happen, and then I don't even know who started that movement or who decided that, hey, Philly, we should do this. And the fact that everybody did it, I got chills watching. I wasn't watching live, but obviously all the videos started popping up. People posting on Facebook. Leslie Goodell posted something. I think she was at the game, and I saw her Facebook feed, and I'm like, that is just incredible. And he responded, it just shows you that, all the years everybody talks about loyalty and that the player should show love to the city. And most cities show some love to the player, and Philly shows love to the players, but that was beyond love. That was like, hey, we got your back, dude.
Well,
I just thought it was
Scott,
awesome.
As a former player, what's that do for your psyche? I mean, people come to a city like Philadelphia with a reputation of, hey, man, is there an added pressure on you to perform? Like, how do you feel as a player? How did you feel as a player, knowing that if you made one mistake, like you're walking on eggshells in Philadelphia, that if you didn't come in from the bullpen and get 3 outs, you were going to get booed?
Well, I'll tell you the perfect one for me then, personally. It was in 2009. I'd come in and we were playing the Nationals, and they had Adam Dunn and Brian Johnson. And I had come into a game that we were up a couple runs, and I walked the first righty, give up a homer to Dunn, walked the next righty, give up a homer to Johnson. And then before the bullpen could even get loose, I walked another righty. So I was the worst game I had as a Philly by far. I gave up 4 runs, 2 2-run homers in a matter of seconds, got booed beyond I've ever been booed before, and well-deserved. Well, the next day, Charlie being Charlie Manuel, there was no righty between Dunn and Johnson the next day for some reason. I don't remember who was playing third, whoever was in that spot was, but they were back-to-back the next day. Well, Charlie brought me into face him the next day. I still heard the boos. Don't suck like you did yesterday. Well, I got them both out. I think I struck one out and one flied out. And then he came to take me out and bring in Madsen or Durbin or somebody to finish the rest of the inning. And I got the biggest ovation right above the dugout. There was probably a row of 6 or 7 guys and a couple women, and they were standing up cheering. And I was like,
So Scott, let me ask you this then, Scott. You said the boos were well deserved. What did that do for you? Did you what was your reaction? Was it like screw the fans, or were you like,
no?
Well, tell me what you felt like in that moment.
Well, I felt like I sucked.
Accountability. That's what we're talking about.
That's awesome.
I remember walking off the field, and I don't remember who I said something to in the dugout, but it was kind of along the lines of, "What the hell just happened? Like, how did that just happen so fast? What was I doing?" And you sit in your locker after the game, and the best part of that whole story is I didn't even have to really talk to media after that game, because Raul Ibanez hit a 3-run homer the next inning, and and then Lidge came in and closed it out. We won by 1 or 2, so I really didn't even have to talk to him. Nobody thought about it. I was an afterthought because we came back and won. But then the next day I get nice big ovation for doing my job, right. But and I, like I said, well deserved, because I felt like I should have been booed that day. There's some days where you come in, you give them a broken bat single or a little flare single, and you run scores, and the fans are upset. But there's sometimes it's out of your control,
right.
or a ball's lost in the sun or whatnot, and you're still the butt end of the booing. But in Philly, I just when I first got traded there, I was driving my RV home. I think I've told you this before, Billy.
Yeah.
I called John Lieber because he was my teammate in Chicago at the time. And I called him in the clubhouse the next morning or the next day driving home. And I'm like, what am I supposed to expect in Philly? Because you were there. And he's like, dude, just play hard.
Yeah.
Just show. He goes, you'll be fine. Just show them that you care. And that if don't be like, oh, ho hum if I give up 2 runs and we lose the game.
Right.
You need to be. He goes, you do get pissed when you do pitch bad. And I said, yeah. And I mean, everybody does. He goes, no, not everybody. And I was like, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I said, you show those fans that you care and that you want to wear that red and white striped uniform, they will love you. And they did.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Scott Harris on the 2008 World Series championship team. He's coming in out of the bullpen to fill in for Tommy Green. We go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green every Sunday. Brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for Designated Drivers. Tommy, this Phillies team this year.
Scott,
I'm sorry. What did I say, Tommy? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a little heavy, but not near as big as Tommy.
Oh, Tommy's cut, man. Have you seen him lately?
Oh, he's awesome. You said it's funny. You just said filling in for Tommy. Tommy's knowledge of pitching and his explanation of mechanics and stuff is just. I'm in awe.
Yeah, he's all baseball.
When we go to fantasy camp, he just sits and starts talking to Toasty and I'll be sitting around or something. Or JC Romero was there last year. We're sitting at fantasy camp down there, and Tommy's talking about pitching, and we all just shut up and listen.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Real quick, Scott, it's Billy's producer Danny Ryan here. I want to pick your brain a little bit about the new guy on the block, Michael Lorenzen. Obviously had one heck of a week throwing a no-hitter on 124 pitches. I didn't think he was going to be able to go through that entire game to get to the no-hitter, but hey, it worked out. I want to talk about just these trade deadline acquisitions. I mean, Michael Lorenzen, this year's acquisition, this year's big ticket, but you were on teams in which you acquired Joe Blanton from the A's in 2008 and then Cliff Lee from what was the Indians, now the Guardians in 2009. What's it like to bring in a big-time pitcher like that and overall just try and rejuvenate that pitching rotation for some more depth?
Well, I mean, I got here just a little after Blanton. He got here a little bit before me, and he was like one of the first few people I went to talk to him about, hey, what's it like here? How's the trading? And his words were like, this place is exciting.
Yeah.
You know, this place is incredible. But how about Cliff? Cliff's first game, you know, well, I know it was Lorenzen's second start, but it wasn't a no-hitter. But Cliff's first game in San Francisco was just lights out. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was at Scott. I was at that game. I was at that game in San
it was
Francisco.
a
Yeah,
complete game. We get what, 2 or 3 hits is all. How about he got a double? He hit a double.
I remember it was really foggy that night too.
It's always foggy.
I was I mean, I was in right field. I was sitting in the McCovey Cove out there.
Oh, that's a great
right. And I mean, we could hardly see the mound.
I just remember him coming in the clubhouse, just kind of saying hi to everybody, and you could tell he was kind of all business, but he had a smile to his face. He was kind of happy to be there. I don't know if he was nervous or more excited nervous, but when you come to a new team like that, he was lights out that year in Cleveland anyways, but he gets to us and throws a complete game shutout or 1 run or whatever it was. I can't exactly remember. But
9 innings, 6 strikeouts.
He had a ball back to him that he fielded behind his back and like
nonchalant.
Yeah, good morning, Scott.
It can spark a team. Like I got traded a few times in playoff runs. Not that I was not the big time pitcher, but like, you know, I got to see what the team was like going from one to another. And if you're that Joe Blanton or like, you know, the Cliff Lear or like, you know, Lorenzen getting traded this year, and that clubhouse, I don't know much about those guys. And just what I see on TV, and I see the post game interviews with the fruit and the water cups, and they do it all calmly like their brother.
The daycare.
Funny, I think. Yeah, like what they call it, daycare.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome that everybody just accepts it, and that's what it is, and that's how they do it, and it's their way of life. And you know, I heard Rob Thompson a little bit. I saw a little clip video of him, you know, talking about the no-hitter after the game, and he just seems so calm and serene, and that's, you know, that was just amazing. Like, welcome to the club.
Yeah. Good morning, Scott. This is the intern Andrew Leeds, and I was just a guy that we've been talking about a lot this season has been Aaron Nola, and he's been having a lot of ups and downs. And I was just curious what you see, like what seems to be going on, and like what you expect from his future. Like if you think the Phillies are going to bring him back, or what do you think? Is like
I hope they bring him back. He's been a long time staple of the team, the rotation, and you know, like you said, like this is Trey Turner's first year there, and he had some struggles. It's not Nola's first year, but you know, not every pitcher in the big leagues is going to be solid, stellar every year. Sometimes they're going to have some down years and have to figure out what to do. And I hope they keep him there. I'm pretty sure that he's comfortable there, and you know, maybe he finishes strong, or maybe he continues to struggle this year. But next year's a new year, and you know, again, you have someone, instead of bringing someone in new that doesn't know the system, that doesn't know the fans, that doesn't know the culture. You know, he's a leader in that culture, and I hope he stays just because to keep that team camaraderie. And you know, he'll bounce back. He's been pretty solid for a long time, and
you know what else, Scott? He eats up a lot. He eats up a lot of innings. He shows up every 5th day. I mean, you can count on him. He might not be consistent this year, right, Danny? But I mean, he's eating up innings.
I think the true question is keeping the team camaraderie and team chemistry at an all-time high worth $20 million+ for Nola a year, and that's really what the Phillies have to evaluate and try and decide.
Well, that part I didn't know about the $20 million, but
he's going to command that for sure.
I didn't know the contract, but you know, I mean, to me, I always say yes because it's easy. It's not my money, but I say yes to keep him because, like I said, you don't have to have somebody come in and learn anything new. He already knows everything, and I mean, his history says he's going to be just fine next year, or hopefully towards the end of this year again. Still, not sticking up for him or anything like that.
Right,
but I've always been a big fan of his. I met him when he first came up. We were there for an alumni weekend with a bunch of the 08 and 09 guys, and I met him in the video room down there, and he just seemed like a good, well-spoken, kind of quiet young man.
Hey, one last question for you, Scott. We really appreciate you coming out of the bullpen for Tommy Green today.
Getting the call.
They waved their bullpen.
In a while, so I might be a little rusty.
But last night on the Phillies broadcast, Michael Barkan reiterated what I've said several times, that Fred Shiro, a famous coach for the Philadelphia Flyers, said, "Win tonight, walk together forever." And you won a World Series with the 2008 Phillies. Is that statement true with you and your teammates?
Win tonight, walk together forever.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah. It's
like the camaraderie, the friendship and the bond that you guys have.
With something that'll never break.
It'll never break.
It's yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't even have a word for that. But I mean, I could call anyone up on that team if I had their number and say, "Hey, what's up? What you doing, man?" And we sit and chat for 10 minutes like we just finished Game 6, or Game 5 or whatever. But it's the same. I just got to experience that on a smaller, obviously, scale with my high school reunion. Like guys I hadn't seen. I don't live in Utah anymore. I haven't lived here since 1993 when I played in. Went to the minor leagues one year and left and never came home. But I walk up to 4 or 5 of my best friends from high school, and it is just like you just said. Walk together forever. It's like we never left each other. We played golf on Thursday together, and joking around. Same old jokes we had when we were in high school because we're delinquent kids.
Yeah.
And
well, I gotta tell you, Scott. We really appreciate you. Got to run. We really appreciate you taking time, and we'll do it again with you. But we have the memory of you and the 2008 World Series Phillies team. We'll never forget it. Thanks, Scott.
I'll never forget running in next to Clay Condry trying to see who could get there first.
All right, Scotty, we really appreciate it, man, and safe travels, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, for sure. It'd be good, Billy.
There he is, Scott Air on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. Is brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for Designated Drivers, reminding you not to drink and drive and always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser and help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org. We love hearing from Scott. All right, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real purchases. From the shore to center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number 1. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Monday's show, we are taking a look back at the Phillies weekend against the Twins and the Eagles matchup against the Ravens. We'll be live at Ocean Casino's Gallery Bar Booking Games. Stop out and see us. Phil's weekend, Eagles and Ravens. It's all Monday on the Bash.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number 1.
The Point is your destination for a tropical oasis at the Jersey Shore. Now with 2 locations on Bay Avenue in Summers Point and their new location at 43rd Street off the boardwalk in Sea Isle City. The Point has the best food and drink specials with their famous Tiki Bar, offering a waterfront view of the bay in Summers Point and the ocean in Sea Isle. Plus, live music is featured 7 days a week at both The Point locations. For more information, check out The Point on Facebook and visit them online at dothepoint.com.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Every piece of land has a story. Some right there is behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me, don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
A Rottweiler named Whiskey with hours to live brought back to full health. A terrier named Snoopy, paralyzed in all four legs, who ran and played again within months. These dogs are known as Marty's Miracles. Dogs brought back to health by Dr. Marty Goldstein.
I've helped countless dogs thrive with one system.
And we're back broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Well, that hour went quick, huh, boys?
Yeah, super quick. Super quick.
Good to hear from Scott Air.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. I mean, filled in for Tommy perfectly. Came in and cleaned up the mess like a reliever does.
Seamless effort, seamless transition right there. Shout out to Scott Air.
Good guy. All right, hour one is in the books. Hour two, we're going to talk Eagles football. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Of course, we'll be
back.
Preseason is back, and we'll talk with Paul Domowitz, formerly of the Philadelphia Daily News, now with 33rd Team. He's been covering the Eagles for a long time. And we'll finish with a few more baseball innings, but Phillies, Eagles on tap.
Little James Harden news, too.
Little James Harden. All that and more. You listen to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and my youth movement here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Towards the plate, the throw, and they get him. Wow.
The Atlanta Braves are storming toward the postseason, sitting high atop the National League East.
It's gone. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a foul.
This weekend, they travel to Queens to go head-to-head with the New York Mets. The Braves and Mets. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This
and
is
on
the
ESPN.
play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Dad, I don't feel good.
I'll grab the Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey.
Isn't DayQuil just for parents?
Actually, Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey is just for kids, specially designed to treat kids' most bothersome cold symptoms quickly with a honeylicious tasting flavor kids like.
You know what else kids like?
DayQuil Kids Honey first, then video games.
Deal.
Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey. The kids' honeylicious daytime coughing, congestion, stuffy head, stuffy nose medicine. Safe for ages 6+.
Get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet. And now you can add a whole new way to watch the entertainment you love. Introducing Now TV, the best value in live TV and streaming. Just $20 a month. Get over 40 live channels. Plus, watch movies, shows, and live sports with Peacock Premium. A $5.99 a month value, included at no extra cost. Start watching thousands of hours of content in minutes. So whether you're an action junkie, a sports buff, or a romance fanatic, you can stream all the entertainment you love, all on the network made for streaming. Now through September 21st, get the best value in live TV and streaming, all on the best network. Switch to Xfinity Internet for $25 a month for 12 months and add Now TV with Peacock Premium included for just $20 a month. Call, click, or visit a store to switch today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Now TV requires Xfinity Internet. Internet equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to Internet service. Actual speeds vary.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
Touchdown!
Sixers,
Good.
and Flyers.
Oh, big save by Carter Hart.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
Red 83.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Philly. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. It's the locker room with Billy Schwein and my locker room youth movement, producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds with me here today. And the Philadelphia Eagles started their season, albeit the preseason, but we got the Birds back on the field. And my next guest, he wrote for the Philadelphia Daily News and Inquirer, covered the Birds for a long time. I don't want to put a number on it. You can follow him on Twitter at PDamo. He now writes for the 33rd Team FB on Twitter at the 33rd Team FB. Let's go to the sports hotline and welcome in a good guy, friend of the locker room, Paul Domowitz. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Billy. How you doing?
Paul, you're supposed to be retired, but you got so much going on here. Are you retired?
Yeah, no, working harder than I was when I was unretired.
Paul, yesterday.
To happen like that.
Yeah, that's right. Paul, yesterday we had the pleasure of speaking with newly enshrined football player to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Joe Klecko was on here with us yesterday.
Ah, that's great. Joe's a great guy.
He was very humble, came from a real tough background, but he's such a class guy. And he's talked a little bit really quick about him. I know you get a vote, right, for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Joe Klecko.
Well, he got in as one of the three senior candidates this year. Probably should have gone in a long time ago. I mean, he was an amazing player in the 80s, one of the original sackmeisters. I mean, played three different positions on the line for the Jets back when they had the sack exchange. I mean, with Gastineau, it was, how he was overlooked this long, I'm not sure. They get 20 years. There's a 5-year wait, and then they have 20 years as a modern era candidate. And he was a finalist a few times, but never got in, and then went into the senior pool. And fortunately, sometimes it's tough to ever get out of that pool. I'm glad he did. And once he was nominated, it was a no-brainer putting him in.
All right, Paul, you've seen a lot of preseasons, and the preseason has changed quite a bit since you first started covering the Birds. But I got to tell you, I mean, last year when they didn't, it was a tough transition for me to not see the hitting and the tough practices. But preseason has changed a lot. What did you notice? What have you noticed so far since you cover the Birds up until the first preseason game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different, it's night and day. I mean, especially for those of us who can go back to the Vermeil training camps when they played 6 preseason games and hit every day. Now it's all about getting to the starting line without any of your key players hurt. They've basically, they reduced preseason games to 3. And most of the starters play very little of those because now what most teams do is have joint practices. The Eagles are going to have 2 this week with Cleveland, and that's where their starters will get most of their playing time in those joint practices against the Browns, where there's no to-the-ground tackling rather than in the preseason games when there's a little bit of a fear that your key players would get hurt. So last year, Jalen Hurts played 1 series in the first preseason game, and that was it. He didn't play again. he didn't even play yesterday at all. Neither did any of the starters because of the fact that the joint practices with the Browns start on Monday. So, you watch training camps now. There's very little hitting at all. They're mostly in pads. Mostly in shorts and shells. It's a different atmosphere. Like I said, the main thing they want now is just to get to the starting line with everybody healthy.
Hey, Paul, producer Danny Ryan here. I want to pick your brain a little bit about, obviously, the Eagles and how really powerful this defense can be, but a few positions in which there might be some holes and some gaping holes that some young guys or, proven veterans that signed cheap deals might need to step into. If you had to pick a hole, which one do you think is the most concerning on this Philadelphia Eagles team? And do you think it's going to matter much with the pressure the defensive line is going to be getting?
Yeah, honestly, nothing about their roster right now is deeply concerning. It's probably the deepest and most talented team in the NFL. Now that could change with injuries, which is why their depth is going to be so important. They've got older guys on the offensive line. You never know. Last year they only had their starting offensive lineman only missed 2 games to injury. That's not always the case. Seldom happens 2 years in a row. So you need depth there, and they've got it. They drafted Tyler Steen. They've got some other guys already on their roster. Jack Driscoll. Cam Jurgens is replacing Isaac Seumalo at right guard. So there's no concerns there. I guess the biggest concerns would be on defense at safety and linebacker, but watching that rookie safety last night, the guy is just a missile. He was hitting people. It was really impressive. The linebackers, they added a few veterans this week to address the depth issues. So they're in pretty good shape right now, honestly. If they don't get any major injuries between now and September 10th, they're going to go into the season looking in pretty good shape.
Hey, good morning, Paul. This is the intern, Andrew Leeds. And I just wanted to ask, we all saw yesterday's game and we kind of touched on how the preseason has become more of like a test for the guys who are on the fringes of making the roster more so than getting the veterans ready for the season like you used to be. And I was just curious, out of everyone who played yesterday, was there anybody who stuck out to you in their performance that you think really made a name for themselves?
Yeah, there's a couple guys on offense that Greg Ward's been around for about 5 years now, but he's kind of disappeared from sight as far as playing. He was hurt last year. He gets taken for granted because he's not a great speed guy, but he carried them in 2019. It helped them win 4 games to make the playoffs. And you're right, Bill. He had a terrific game last night. I've always liked him. Hope he's going to make this club. Probably won't get a lot of playing time, but he impressed me. And the running back situation. Trey Sermon. His numbers weren't very good. I think he had 15 yards for 5 carries, but he picked up a blitz. He's a big power back. Played at Oklahoma and then Ohio State. Was on their practice squad all last year, or not most of last year. I think they did activate him for a little bit, but he didn't get a chance to play. I'm not sure what you do with him because they're so deep at running back. But he looked good last night. They like him. He's had a good camp. So we'll see. Very least, maybe they trade him at the end for something. But I think he's got some potential. He's because of the fact that they don't have a lot of power backs. DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell are terrific pass receiving backs, and we saw last night, Swift's got some moves, but neither one of them are what you would call power backs. Trey Sermon is. You might want to keep a guy like that as a first down back, short yardage back, kind of like they did in 2017 when they won the Super Bowl and had LeGarrette Blount.
We're talking with Paul Domowitz. He covers the Eagles for the 33rd team, FB. Paul, Marcus Mariota, how important is that acquisition? Because I think he's a lot. I look at him and it looks like there's not that much of a fall off. Like last year with the backup we had, Gardner Minshew. I'm sorry. Yep. Gardner Minshew it doesn't have the athletic ability that Jalen Hurts does. Marcus Mariota seems to have that.
Yeah, I really like Mariota. I mean, I think he's got 74 career starts, started 13 games last year for the Falcons before he got benched at the end when they wanted to give their young guy some experience. But what I like about him and what we saw last night is that he kind of mimics, he's got the same similar skill set to Jalen. We saw him early, he only played 2 series. I think he was 7 for 11 passing, but he had 3 runs, picked up 2 first downs, including one where they blitzed and he got outside on it and picked up 15 yards on I want to say it was a 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty, it's even people that used to think you had to be a pocket passer in this league have come to realize just how significant the game has changed with people like Hurts and Lamar Jackson and even Mariota, who's been around. But I mean, I just think he's the perfect backup right now for them. I think he can step in. I'd feel more comfortable with him if they had to use him for a couple of games than I did with Minshew. So yeah, I like him a lot, Billy.
Paul, I can't thank you enough. I know you're a busy man today. We're going to let you run, but this team seems to have a good chemistry. You're around this team. Do you get the feel that this team has good chemistry?
Yeah, I do. They got the right blend of veterans and young guys. They took some chances in the draft, with the 2 kids from Georgia, Jalen Carter and then Kelly Ringo, because of character issues, and everybody knows about Carter's auto, the whole thing. But they've got, they drafted him, because they felt that they're not necessarily bad guys, but more importantly, they feel they got guys in the locker room that veteran guys that can handle them, that can teach them the right way to be in life and on the field and in the locker room. So, they got, any team that's got Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey as leaders, and Jalen Hurts, is in pretty good shape as far as chemistry.
All right, Paul Domowitz, thank you so much. We're so excited. We got the Birds back on the field, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Take care, Billy.
There he is, Paul Domowitz. He's now, you can follow him on Twitter at PDomo and at the 33rd Team FB, where he writes and covers for the Eagles for them, and he does a great job. I trust Damo, and that's why we have him on. Hey, for over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. Whenever I go in there, I get a chance to see Andrew. I get to see Billy, and I know Jason's delivering. They do a great job down there. Hey, they got a big selection.
Yeah, they've got a lot
craft
over there.
beers and everything.
Trust me, I know.
You used to work there,
I used
right?
to work there, yeah. So I know they got a lot of stuff over there, a lot of good stuff.
All right, that's
Good
Circle
variety.
Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. All right, when we return, we'll talk more Eagles. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and my Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2023 preseason Thursday night, hosting the Cleveland Browns at the Link.
And walks in for the touchdown.
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 6:30 with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 7:30. This is the play-by-play home for Philadelphia Eagles football. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Bintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
My little brother's friends have been camped out at our place for 2 days straight. 3. It's because of the Xfinity 10G network. Internet that can handle a house full of screens at once, with basically no interruptions. And it's only getting faster. When I was their age, internet like this was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Please go home.
The next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through September 21st, new customers can get 200 megabit internet with unlimited data on the next generation Xfinity 10G network for just $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, upgrade to gig and save $20 a month over Verizon. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed. Savings compares Xfinity Gig to Verizon Gig.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, The Locker Room Youth Movement, producer Danny Ryan, the intern Andrew Leeds with me today. Paul Domowitz has been around for a long time. He gets a vote in the Hall of Fame. And like I said, Paul Domowitz knows football. But I want to hear your opinion, the young guys. Did you get to watch the game last night, Andrew? I know you were working.
Yeah, I did. I actually got home just in time to watch.
So what's your big takeaway from this?
My big takeaway
from the first game?
That mainly just the guys that we wanted to see play well, played well. I mean, Jalen Carter played 2 snaps in his first snap. He almost sacked the quarterback. If the quarterback didn't, it probably would have been intentional grounding if it was a real game. So he probably would have been credited with the sack. But regardless, he played great. Eli Ricks.
He's from LSU, right? Or Alabama.
I think Alabama.
He's from Alabama.
But he was undrafted. He was a lot of people thought he was going to get drafted, and he didn't. So the Eagles just picked him up, and he looked great. I mean, yeah, like they mentioned, DeAndre Swift broke out for a big run. Trey Sermon.
What do you think about Kayvon Wallace? You think he played pretty well?
He played fine. I didn't notice
his job's in jeopardy. I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's definitely close to contention. It seems like Reed Blankenship has kind of locked up the
starting job
for the. Forget if he's free safety or strong safety.
Hey, last night during the broadcast, they had a couple of the guys. They had Lane Johnson mic'd up. They had Fletcher Cox.
Oh, yeah, how about what Fletcher Cox said?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Who do you think he was specifically referring to?
From what I gathered from what other people think, it could be either Zach Ertz or Malcolm Jenkins, which I could see.
Well, he's a defensive lineman. The person I thought was Hargrave. He's the one that just left. He just went to San Francisco.
I feel like Hargrave wouldn't have said that so quick because he just left. Like, how would he already know that it's a huge regret?
So maybe Malcolm Jenkins. Because Malcolm Jenkins was in camp during the week.
And it could always be like a Vinny Curry. Like, he was on the Eagles. He left for Tampa after winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
He was on the D-line.
I think Vinny's done.
Oh, I think he's done.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mark Grimes told me he's retired.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just retired.
Yeah. We've had Vinny Curry on the show before, plenty
Yeah,
of time.
won a Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah,
Philly
great
boy.
guy.
He grew up in Philly, right?
Yeah,
Or around Philly.
I think he's Central Jersey actually, or along the coast.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Danny Ryan? I mean, who do you think he was referring to?
What did he even say? I'm not even sure what he said.
Well, he said that why they were asked about the contract negotiations, and he said that he wanted to come back to Philly because he spoke with former players that have left, and he said the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Yeah, they all said it was. Somebody said that it was the biggest regret of their life or mistake of their life to leave the Eagles organization.
Because I've heard from several, we hear from a lot of people around the league or close to the league that the Eagles are not only a great organization, that they've become a great organization to play for, but it's a great place to live, and the whole, the whole Eagles experience.
Well, we got to think Zach Ertz was traded, so it wouldn't be him. He didn't leave for more money. I mean, obviously,
so it can't be Ertz. Could Malcolm Jenkins left for more money?
Ertz did kind of ask for a trade, though.
Yeah, they were in a bad position.
But yeah, he didn't actually re-sign. He didn't sign somewhere else. Malcolm Jenkins signed with the Saints, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of a defensive lineman aside from Hargrave that left, but he wouldn't be saying that. He hasn't even played in a 49ers uniform yet, so he wouldn't be saying that. First two guys that come to mind, like you said, Malcolm Jenkins, but he
was at practice the week.
Yeah, and he always kind of like, when he left Philadelphia, was making jabs at them in the media. So I don't know if it could be him. Maybe Rodney McLeod. He went to Indianapolis after Philadelphia, and they had a terrible season.
Yeah.
So
I saw some people saying
him.
Carson Wentz, but I don't think that's the case.
By the way, did you see the picture on social media of Carson Wentz wearing, ready for this, an Eagles helmet, a Redskins or Washington Commanders jersey, and the Baltimore
Colts
Indianapolis
shorts.
Colts.
Formerly the Baltimore Colts, right? Yeah. When I first saw that.
What did you make of that?
I first saw that, and I saw the Eagles helmet, and my heart sunk. I'm like, are we going into camp with 3 quarterbacks to expect some time? What's going on here, man?
Like Damo said, like Marcus Mariota, remember in 2015, I believe everybody thought that he was going to come here. That Marcus Mariota was going to.
Chip Kelly wanted him bad.
And Chip Kelly wanted him.
He would have done anything to trade up, and just didn't fall his way that year. But, I mean, thank goodness he did not. I don't know if you've watched any of the quarterback documentary series on Netflix.
The quarterback show?
Yeah. Marcus Mariota, you can tell. I mean, he just does not have the grit. He doesn't have the determination. It seems like he's not.
I think he's in a great role here, though.
Yeah, backup is fine. He's going to know how to run the read option and overall execute the run game better, like you said, than Minshew. But he just doesn't seem like as a starter that he really has the determination and is in love with the game, honestly. And thank God they didn't draft him back in 2015.
Looking at the defensive stats, Damo said about Sidney Brown. I mean, he had 9 tackles last night.
A lot of guys are going to be making names for themselves.
Yeah.
You could tell when he played with his ears pinned back. He played like it wasn't a preseason. He played like he was fighting for his life.
He's fighting for a roster spot.
That's right.
I mean, you're going to see a lot of guys really overperform in these next few games in the preseason just because, like Damo said well.
How about Ben Summerin? What did you think of him? He got a shot at making the team?
Probably not, but you never know.
No, because they got Miles Jack and they got Cunningham.
Nakobe
Dean. How many linebackers they keep? 5, 6?
5 or 6, I would say, because you need a backup for each linebacker position. So
first text of the show, Paul from Ocean City chimes in, says, great show. Sidney Brown was a hawk out there, led the team in tackles, and was all over the field. Definitely an up-and-coming corner. Excited for the season. Go Birds.
Well, Sidney Brown's a safety, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he plays the safety position more.
Paul's Paul's a big Eagles fan. He came to all our live remotes. He's in Ocean City. He's probably on the beach, or he's gonna be on the beach today. I'll be down there. We'll talk birds with him. But I just liked he just looked like he was all dirty. He was like, it was a first preseason game and he's playing with his ears pinned back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys, like I said, they're going to be making names for themselves, and who knows, they might make enough of a name for themselves to make the opening day, week 1 active roster. So we'll see. But Billy, I want to ask you this real quick before we move on from the Eagles. There's currently 5 running backs in that running back room for the Philadelphia Eagles. You have Rashad Penny, DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, Trey Sermon, and Boston Scott. There's been some rumors, and I doubt it's ever going to happen. I'm 95% positive it won't. But do you think there's a possibility that Howie Roseman could bring 5 running backs out of camp on the active roster, even if Trey Sermon's inactive one week?
But here's the thing, you see, it's important to have depth.
It is, but 5 running backs.
It is a lot.
So he had Penny had 9 carries last night for 34 yards with an average of 3.8 yards. DeAndre Swift had some nice moves last night. Penny had some nice moves. Even, I mean, yeah, I can see it.
Real quick, I have it pulled up. Might as well play it. DeAndre Swift and one of his runs from last night, or really his big run, his 22-yard run, I believe.
That was sweet.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Here we go. Here's the Mariota run.
That was a big run.
Looked like Jalen. Right there, DeAndre Swift. I know you can't see it, on the radio or at home on the StreamYard, but he looked like a freight train, just not wanting to go down. So hopefully we get that version of him.
All right.
Yeah.
Eagles season is, birds are back on the field, baby, and it couldn't be any better. The team looks good. Like Damo said, it's an evaluation time. They don't want to do the hit, but they got Cleveland coming in this week.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be doing a lot of joint practice with them this week. I wouldn't be surprised if.
But they don't tackle.
Yeah, I mean, it's the bubble wrap practices.
And there is so the Kobe Dean, he's got a sprained ankle.
Yeah, he's got an ankle injury. That's why he didn't play last night. I really was excited to see what he could do in the preseason.
The way did you see Penny get up? He did limp off the field at one point.
Well, that's the thing. Like, to my point about
his
the 5
problem
running
is
backs,
he can't stay healthy.
You don't lose any money really if you cut him. It's $500,000 guaranteed for him. So Billy, if you were Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman, 3 days away from the first game of the season, or let's say a week away, who are you cutting? I mean, it's more than likely Trey Sermon or Boston Scott.
Well, you need
Boston Scott's our highest paid running back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you would lose a lot of money cutting him, but you don't want to cut Rashad Penny till you know what he has.
So you only going to keep 4?
I would keep at max 4, to be honest with you, and maybe
you could keep a 5th one.
Yeah, but then you probably have to practice squad him. I don't know if Trey Sermon at this point in his career wants to go back on the practice squad.
How old Sermon?
I believe he's 25, but I'll fact check
young.
that. Yeah, I mean, and he hasn't proved himself yet. I mean, he had the short stint in San Francisco. He's 24 years old.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Who would you pick?
It's a good problem to have, though.
It would probably have to be Sermon, but I mean, it's unfortunate because he's
but remember, Penny can't stay healthy though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they brought him in this year. I feel like I don't know. Penny has a higher.
Yeah,
ceiling.
he's going to have to prove himself. He's going to get the.
Well, he's got a great average per carry.
Yeah,
exactly.
When he's not tearing his ACL.
When he's not hurt.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I would say Trey Sermon's the clear answer, but Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman have come out to say they love the kid. They want to see what he can do. So it's going to be tough. I'm interested to see what they do.
All right. Hey, for over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the locker room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party, let Chet and staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Let me tell you about McCann Realtors. Are you looking to buy, sell, or rent a house at the shore? Call John McCann, broker, owner of McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City. Put his 38 years of experience to work for you as a real estate broker, certified general real estate appraiser. John has the knowledge, integrity, and expertise and dedication you want and need. Call 609-263-7422 or visit McCannRealtors.com or stop by the office at 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. Meet with John and discover the McCann difference. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and the Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan, the intern Andrew Leeds, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Monday's show, we are taking a look back at the Phillies weekend against the Twins and the Eagles matchup against the Ravens. We'll be live at Ocean Casino's Gallery Bar Book and Games. Stop out and see us. Phil's weekend, Eagles and Ravens. It's all Monday on the Bash.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee. Those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
The Point is your destination for a tropical oasis at the Jersey Shore. Now with 2 locations on Bay Avenue in Somers Point and their new location at 43rd Street off the boardwalk in Sea Isle City. The Point has the best food and drink specials with their famous Tiki Bar, offering a waterfront view of the bay in Somers Point and the ocean in Sea Isle. Plus, live music is featured 7 days a week at both the Point locations. For more information, check out The Point on Facebook and visit them online at dothepoint.com.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com. I'll see you there.
Summertime, baseball and golf season are in full swing, plus so much more. BetParx is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. It's a great time of year. Plus, the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app follows you to the shore and the mountains. Get in on the action all summer long, whether you're on the beach, the boat, or the boardwalk. Bet while you're on the lake and the Poconos. BetParx has you covered. It's all right in the palm of your hand. Odds, bets, slots, and games. Download the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app right now. Check out live in-game betting, same-game parlays, teasers, and more. Bet more than the score. Bet player performances. Bet hits, home runs, and strikeouts in baseball. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in Sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. Get in on the action all summer long. BetParx has you covered. BetParx.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, more of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the Locker Room youth movement producer. Danny Ryan, the intern, Andrew Leeds joining me here. Young guys. I'm trying to get Doug Flutie on the show last week. And Andrew, you already said, who's Doug Flutie?
Come on, Danny.
Come on,
You
Danny.
expect me to know a CFL superstar and at best a
He's
backup in the NFL?
I think he's one of the most underrated, underappreciated quarterbacks in history of the NFL.
I mean, I looked at
underappreciated.
I looked at his Wikipedia. He certainly accomplished more than I have, but I didn't know who he was.
It is a name where it's not like people around our age don't. I only know him because I've watched specific videos about the USFL.
Right.
It's
Well, it's not his claim to fame in USFL.
That's like where you got to start, though, in professional sports. After college.
Think about it. His NFL career ended as I was 3 years old. 3.
He played for the New Jersey Generals.
So I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, and I'll never forget. College came down to play in the Orange Bowl against Miami, the U. And it was like, I don't know if it was a hurricane, it was a tropical depression came through. It was pouring raining. And I could have gone to that game. I'd been offered a ticket to go, and I turned it down. And that's when Doug Flutie threw that Hail Mary against for Boston College against Miami to beat the Hurricanes on a last second Hail Mary in the rain.
You had to have been pissed at yourself.
I was.
Just living. What did I do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
All right. guys, Sixers make it a little news. Did anybody watch the NBA? The
Hall of Fame
induction
No,
ceremony.
I didn't catch any.
I mean,
definitely
with the Phillies on and with the Sixers, with the Phillies on and the Eagles on, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I definitely made a point to watch the clips that came out with Dirk, Dwayne Wade.
We do have that clip though, right?
Yeah, I've got Dwayne Wade's clip.
I thought this was pretty cool. I heard it earlier, but I want to hear it again because look, I'll never forget Allen Iverson. He was pound for pound, size for size, one of the best players ever in the NBA, I think. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Allen Iverson talk about heart. He was all heart.
Extremely well said by Mr. Wade, but you would have thought Allen Iverson was being inducted, and that happened in 2016. You know what I mean? It was
but still that's
it was beautiful. I know.
People in Philadelphia love. I mean, not just Philadelphia, the whole league. I mean, he did talk about the baggy shorts, his style, the culture that he instilled, the change. He changed the face of the NBA.
You heard him. He broke the barrier for self-expression and being who you are and being able to make it to the top with limited resources. AI, we talk about Paul Reed out the mud. AI was the original out the mud. He originated that. So, I mean, just a living legend. But like I said, Dwayne Wade was being inducted there. And all the praise he has for Allen Iverson during his Hall of Fame induction speech, it just, it goes a long way. It shows the respect he has for him.
Where were you born?
2002.
So you didn't get to see that.
I was
alive.
01,
I mean,
so
you guys don't remember when he stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Oh, trust me.
I mean, I know you've seen the video,
but in real time.
I mean, that was the coolest thing I think I'd seen in a long time.
Now, let me see if you understand this reference, Billy.
All right.
That moment was the definition of an "I'm him" moment. Do you know what that means?
I'm him.
I'm him. So
that wasn't I'm him.
Yes, that's something that Gen Z and maybe some millennials would get,
but I don't get
essentially
that.
just means like
Being him.
you're that guy. You're that guy. You're him.
Yeah.
You are him. And then
He
probably
is him. Like, do you remember? I remember there used to be a player in the old XFL who wore on the back of his jersey, "He hate me."
Yeah, he hate me.
And it's almost like that. Like he's him.
He's him.
It's like he hate me because
I remember that.
Yeah, it's almost like that, but it's him.
I'd love for
him.
someone to be so good and so ballsy to just legally change their last name to him and put it on the back of their jersey or that guy.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco made Ocho Cinco. That's true.
Right?
And that's why Himmy Butler. People were calling Jimmy Butler in the playoffs Himmy because he's him.
He's him.
He's him.
Okay. The Sixers did make a little noise, or have making a little bit of noise. They've stopped negotiations to trade James Harden.
Yeah. I really think this is going to be a dumpster fire, Billy. I'm sorry, but
really,
he doesn't want to play here unless he swallows his pride. But you saw when he wanted to be traded out of Houston, he whipped out the fat suit. And then I know he didn't actually whip out a fat suit, but he didn't put as much effort into his conditioning, staying in shape.
He has been working out.
He has, but I saw some pictures when he was in Shanghai. It looked like that fat suit might be returning a little bit. I don't know. It's just I don't think he's going to give his full effort because we've seen with teams in the past. I mean, with the Nets during his end there, he didn't put as much effort in when he originally got there to join Katie and Kyrie. So all I'm saying is he could pull the same exact thing to try and force his way to LA.
They're not going to get anything in return what they want. So you got to keep him, right? He's the best. He's the best thing.
That's why they ended negotiating.
Yeah, they're not getting anything.
So maybe Morey they're supposed to be right. Were they supposed to be tight?
Yeah, they used to be. Apparently, they're having some beef.
With the new coach, Nick Nurse, come in and maybe they talk to him and say, "Listen, let's go forward with this and try to win now."
Yeah, and like Andrew said, there's been some reports that Daryl Morey and James Harden relationship is, quote, irreparable. How true that is, I don't know. It's all hearsay, but it's not looking, like I said, Billy, it's hard to be optimistic about this situation right now because you have a player that doesn't want to play here.
I mean, he said he wanted to go back to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Because he's from LA.
When last time we had a player that didn't want to be here was Ben Simmons, and you saw how that worked, but Daryl Morey's proven that he's not going to just trade him for a bag of chips. He's going to wait to get the value he wants.
Don't you think he understands that they can't get value back for him?
But he got James Harden for Ben Simmons. He can get value.
All right, so why did Harden accept the? Why did Harden accept the?
Because he thought he was going to abide by his trade request and send him to L.A., but he didn't get that. It's similar to the Damian Lillard situation.
He wasn't going to go there as a free agent.
No.
So that means they didn't want him.
It's so tough though, because like also if you think about it, why didn't L.A. just sign him as a free agent?
So I think he overplayed his hand.
Probably.
Right?
I think he tried helping Philadelphia. That was the thing too, because Daryl and James, their relationship was very good. He tried helping Daryl in Philadelphia by saying, "Hey, I'll opt in. You trade me. You get value for me, so I'm not just leaving in free agency." And now James probably a little pissed because he opted in to try and help Philly, and they're not sending him meeting his request.
It's like I get what you're saying, but also it's like he helped Philly, but also no team was going to give him as much money as he just opted in. I know they would have given him a longer term deal. So in one sense, he helped Philly, but he also kind of I feel like it was just kind of an emotional reaction to ask for a trade without thinking about it. Cause now it's like, he's not allowed to extend a contract. Like if the Clippers trade for him, they're not allowed to speak with him on his contract until next offseason.
Right.
Because he opted in versus he could have just come up with a deal with the Clippers on his own.
But he couldn't.
Yeah, because I mean
that's why he's and I don't know.
By the way,
I don't think he's going to be like Ben Simmons.
No, he'll play. He's shown that he'll play.
I think he'll once he gets into camp. I think
it might not be the best version of James Harden, but he's shown in Houston and Brooklyn that he'll play.
33 years. How old is James Harden?
Well, I'm saying as far as effort, determination, and overall taking care of his body. I mean, he's proven that he will get a little fat if he wants to get out of a place he doesn't want to be at. So that's all I have to say. But it is kind of funny though. I'm thinking about it now. They added the new flop tech rule, so if you're flopping, you can get a technical foul.
Good. Because I remember how pissed off I got with that last year.
What do you think Joel Embiid and James Harden are going to be the first technical foul for flopping?
I told you my daughter says
suspects.
Joel Embiid is a human mop.
Yes, and it's so funny.
Came
that
from
AG,
an 8-year-old.
Yeah, come on. AG is noticing that enough. And
She's watching the game with me. She goes, "Daddy, he's on the floor. He's like a mop." My
ruthless.
daughter.
Even the 8-year-olds are ruthless towards JoJo Embiid.
All right, when we come back, we're gonna close out the show. We're talking Phillies baseball. You got a couple of cool stats we got to read, and we'll go over the lineups. Philadelphia Phillies, Minnesota Twins, 135. You know what I'm gonna be doing this after I get out of here?
What are you doing?
AG's coming down. We're gonna sit on the beach. I got my radio. I'm gonna listen to Phillies. Scott Fransky.
I'm
gonna listen to the Phillies.
Probably Kevin Stocker, maybe LA. Maybe LA. It's a Sunday.
All right. For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City. They got a big selection of beer. What do you call them? Promotion beers. What do you call those? Craft beers.
Oh, crafts, yeah.
Craft
Crafts,
beers.
IPAs,
Awesome.
yeah.
They have a huge selection down there. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the locker with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, let Chet and Steve make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees it fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll close out the show. We'll give you the Phillies starting lineup. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and my Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Towards the plate, the throw, and they get him. Wow.
The Atlanta Braves are storming toward the postseason, sitting high atop the National League East.
It's gone. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a bomb.
This weekend, they travel to Queens to go head-to-head with the New York Mets. The Braves and Mets. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This is the
ESPN.
play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text. Data rates may apply. Homeowners, do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text PLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text PLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word PLACE to 200-300. Don't wait, text PLACE to 200-300.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studios in Northfield, The Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
All right, Andrew Leeds, the intern, jumping in there. Producer Danny Ryan.
That was pretty good. I'll give it to him. Pretty good. You sound just like Billy.
Yeah.
Just like him.
Sure. The spitting voice.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out the website, thelockerroom.BillySchwein.com. You can always see the replay of the show. Also, we have the photo gallery on there. We have the Beach Patrol report, the replay of the interview with Hall of Fame defensive lineman for the New York Jets. Joe Klecko is up there. Check it all out. We also got a photo gallery. We have the store. We have the ESPN locker room shirts for sale there. Check it out.
You're not selling them, Billy. We got Kelly Green.
Kelly Green.
Locker room T-shirts.
They're sharp too, aren't they?
Yeah,
they are
just
nice.
like the New Jersey.
And there's a picture of us up on the website with the Kelly Green sitting at the on the truck broadcasting the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships.
Yep.
was a great event.
Also, you had a night in Venice, I believe.
Night in Venice. Congratulations to the Brigantine Beach Patrol.
The upset.
They will be hosting the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Chief Kip Emick did a great job. The Seville brothers. It was a great night for Brigantine.
Yeah.
Now for the starting lineups for the Philadelphia Phillies. Danny Ryan.
You got to give me a second here, brother.
I got it right here.
You got it?
I
know Schwarber's leading off.
Now, ready, Danny? You do play-by-play for the Wilmington Blue Rocks.
Wilmington Blue Rocks, the
Blue
high
Rocks.
A affiliate of the Washington Nationals.
In your voice, in your
let's
radio
hear it.
voice, let's hear the starting lineup.
Oh, dear God.
Come on, hey.
All right.
You're broadcasting the game, man.
All right, your starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Leading off in left field, Kyle Schwarber. Batting second at third base, Alec Boehm. Batting third, Bryce Harper. He'll be the DH this afternoon. Batting fourth, Nick Castellanos in right field. Bryson Stott batting fifth at second base. Trey Turner back in the sixth hole at shortstop. Jake Cave playing first base, batting seventh. Garrett Stubbs giving JT the day off, batting eighth. And obviously catching, and then batting ninth, the youngster Yohan Rojas, the center fielder. Is that good enough for you?
How about the pitching line matchups today? Give us a
Yeah,
pitching
Ranger
break.
Suarez going up against Patrick Corbin. Sonny Gray of the Minnesota Twins, 3.18 ERA for Sonny Gray, a 3.96 ERA for Ranger Suarez. Gray, though, he's approaching 200 strikeouts in the season, 133 coming into this game.
I'd like to see a good performance by Ranger Suarez in turn. I mean, he's 2-5. And I know he had a slow start because he came off an injury, but we need him to step up.
Yeah, because
we need a win today.
It seemed like he turned things around. You know, he had a slow start and then he turned things around and then he just kind of like fell back down a bit, like as if he regressed back to fresh off the injury. So yeah, it'd be great to see him get back into the swing of things today.
One thing that I like, Danny, Ryan, that I said yesterday on the program, the family feel. Castellanos' son.
I love it.
Is that unbelievable?
I absolutely love it.
The mayor
I
of
know I have an
Philadelphia.
8-year-old daughter, but seeing how close he is with his son, that kid's there every game.
Well, the kid loves like everybody. I mean,
I
you saw him
know.
go up and hug
He
Lorenz and
looks
his mom.
but he looks like his dad.
He looks so much
He
like
looks
him.
like his dad.
Spitting image.
Yeah, he was celebrating with I think the Wilson family right after.
He celebrated with the Wilson
had his
family
first
right
home
after.
run.
When Lorenzen got the no-hitter, he ran up to the mom's
Right?
seats and hugged her, and she was like, "Oh my God!"
He's the mayor of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I might even go as far to say the owner of Citizens Bank Park at this point. I love it.
But I mean, he's a cute kid. He looks like his dad.
They got their home run celebration.
They got their home run celebration. I mean, those type of stories, like I think, help the whole chemistry, the whole atmosphere. When you're winning, fun stuff like that is fun.
I mean, you can just see the vibrations coming off of all those guys in the locker room, in the clubhouse. I mean, you can tell they all love each other. They're all having fun. And that's honestly a lot to say with a lot of eccentric, I should say, personalities in the clubhouse. I mean, it's hard to tame all of those. And, we might get on Rob Thompson for pushing the wrong buttons from time to time, but they're 5 games or now it's probably 4 games up on the third wild card spot, and they're playing winning baseball.
I think it's 3.5.
You can't blame them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You heard of Scott Air, who filled in for Tommy Green today on the mound with Tommy Green. Scott Air said that Robbie Thompson has that calm presence about him, and he's like the stoic leader of the ship, captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And everything revolves, like he doesn't get too excited. He doesn't get too upset. He doesn't ruffle any feathers. He has his finger on the pulse of his team.
And he like you said, he's the smooth leader, the calm leader, but also he knows how to control these personalities and just get these guys to mesh. If it's a bad day, whatever, it's a bad season for Trey Turner. The best example of that, he's always keeping these guys even keel and saying, hey, plenty of ball game left. Let's get out there and win tomorrow and be better. And that's what they've done.
Now, if you can look at the schedule, I think we have Kansas. Who do we have coming up? We have after the Washington or after the Minnesota
I know
Twins.
the Angels are coming up in a few series.
The Phillies have an easier schedule.
We go to Toronto to face off against the Blue Jays. It's going to be Zach Wheeler in the first game of that series. And then after that, I believe, Andrew, you're correct. It is the Angels, but I'll check on that in just a second.
I think it's the weekend of like the 30th or whatever, because I'm looking at getting tickets to that game because I'd love to see Shohei Ohtani in person.
Actually,
he's going to be a big draw.
It's going to be the Nationals in Nationals Park this time
That's
around,
all right.
then the Angels. And then,
Right.
but the Blue Jays are up next.
The Angels aren't. I mean, where are the Angels?
Yeah, they went big for it at the deadline, and it hasn't been paying off. They're
No.
not playing winning baseball. They go to the Giants right before the Anaheim Angels as
not
well.
Not a difficult schedule coming up.
Hey, speaking of Anaheim, Billy, I do want to read that stat about Michael Lorenzen and what
let's hear that. Yeah, that's
what he's done post All-Star break. By the way, did you see the cleats he wore during his no-hitter?
They got sent to Cooperstown.
Yeah, but did you see what type of cleats they were?
No.
Vans.
Were they really?
They were Vans cleats. and obviously, he had no idea who he's going to throw a no-hitter.
Right,
it's even
right.
cooler. Those are going to the
They're
Hall of Fame.
Vans.
First pair of
And
Vans
they gave
in the
him
Hall of
the
Fame.
rubber, too. They pulled the rubber out of the
You see how big that thing is?
I didn't realize the rubbers were that big.
It goes deep into the ground. I thought it was just the rubber on top of the mountain. That's
Heck, when I coached baseball at Glassboro High School, the JV coach. Our rubber was just like kind of had spikes in there.
Yeah.
On the JV field anyway.
So for Michael Lorenzen,
let's hear it. This is an impressive stat.
Pre-All-Star break, a lot of people were up in arms saying he shouldn't have been named to the All-Star game and that it was the team's representative. That's the only reason he made it.
Right.
And pre-All-Star break, he was pitching to the tune of a 3-6 record, a 4.03 ERA in 15 starts.
And he was in Detroit of all places.
Yes, and he was in Detroit, not getting a ton of run support, 87 innings. Post All-Star break, he's made 5 starts to which he's pitched to the tune of a 1.26 ERA, a 4-1 record, a 35 2/3 innings pitched, has only allowed 5 earned runs in all 5 starts combined.
That's unbelievable.
And is pitching to the tune of an opponent batting average of .137. He has turned a corner. And to even add upon that, Billy, in June, he pitched to the tune of a 5.30 ERA, 0-4 on the month. July and August, a 1.14 ERA in July, a 1.06 ERA in August. I mean, the guy has turned it around. We're getting his best baseball at the right time.
And he's getting the juice from the fans.
Yes, he is.
Right? I mean, you're in Detroit. I bet you I don't know what their attendance is, but the Detroit Tigers are 53-64, 11 games out of a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
They were going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's rejuvenated.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
You heard what Scott Ayers said. When you get sent to a team that's winning, you get uplifted.
Yep. And like
every
I said
aspect
before,
of your game.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
I mean, just the energy that the Philadelphia crowd has been giving, especially in recent weeks with the standing ovation, it's like the perfect time to join this team.
Wow, the show's over already?
It flew by as it always does, Billy.
Gosh.
Always
It's not
does.
enough time for the Schweiner.
It's not. Need 4 hours. 4 hours.
Danny did a great job.
Thank you.
For all the Beach Patrol shows that we put on, the Dutch Hoffmans, the
It was
Margate
fun.
Memorials, and the South Jersey Lifeguard Championship from the beach in Margate.
I can officially say I broadcasted on top of an Army truck. So we'll take it.
Great job, as always, Andrew Leeds. I'm glad to see you're back feeling healthy and looking good.
Yes. Thank you, Schweiner.
All right, make sure you go to my website to check out the interview with Joe Klecko. Of course, the podcast is up as well. Check us out. I'm on 8 podcast locations. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday.
Because
nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. And let's go, Phillies. Get us a win tonight. And I will see you next week.
The preceding program was paid for by the